facilitator of the Ashawagh Writers Workshops. We're going into our 28th year. I thought it was our 27th, but I looked today and it's our 28th. And it all started with an ad in the East Hampton Star, which I put there. I asked if there was anybody that wanted to join a writing group. And we had quite a group. We had about 28 people. Some of the people are still in the class. And we're the only class that I know of on the East End that you can't get into just by paying. We ask to see what you do. And if we think you'll be an asset to the class and the class will be an asset to you, we welcome you. I don't think there's much else that I'm going to tell you except one thing, because one of our writers is too modest to tell you our great success story, and that's Vincent Lardo. This is a very welcoming community. The East Hampton Star has, from the beginning, published chapters of our novels and short stories and so forth. And someone from New York, an agent, saw a first chapter that Vincent had written of a novel that he hadn't yet submitted for publication. He was a writer when he was young, and then as he moved out
I resent that.
Okay. I was sorry when I said it. Then when he moved out here, he joined the workshop. And to make a long story short, Putnam, the agent submitted this. There was an auction, and it was Putnam that won it. And they took on Vincent. They gave him a two-book contract, and with a nice advance. And then Phyllis Graham, who's a very smart woman in publishing and is the head of Putnam, saw his work. Come on in, and sit down. And she said, gee, he writes a lot like Lawrence Saunders. Lawrence Saunders had just died, and you may know, he's a very famous mystery writer. She said he writes like Lawrence Saunders. Maybe we'll try him out and see if he could take over Lawrence Saunders' series. So there were several other writers she asked, and they were paid well to try out, and Vincent won. He became as told to. He became an as no, not an as told to. What? How did they phrase it?
A novel by Vincent Lardo with his name on top.
Right, right. And a very handsome advance. Not advance, I think it was a flat fee, wasn't it?
It was flat.
Flat fee. Very, very nice. And he wrote 6 Lawrence Saunders novels, and all of them were on the bestsellers list. And one critic even said that he was better than Lawrence Saunders.
He is better.
We all, in the workshop, we knew he was better. But I wanted to tell you that story to give you an idea of why these occasions are so valuable to us. We always hope that somebody will spot one of our writers, whether it's in the Star or here or wherever, and bring the kind of success that Vince had. Now, I'm not going to introduce these writers. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But I hope at the end there'll be some questions. So we'll start right now. We'll start with Vincent.
I was introduced. So I consider myself introduced. I'm going to read a chapter from my new novel, which is called, of all things, Jockstrap Murder. This is a takeoff on Gypsy Rose Lee's The G-String Murders. And this is given equal billing. There are 3 suspects, 3 young men, a writer, an actor, and a musician. These 3 young men are all suspects. And Mike Gavin, my new detective and whatnot, goes back to see where these guys came from before they arrived in New York and became so successful. So one chapter will be devoted to how these guys got from where they were to New York and why. And this is the chapter that concerns the writer.